we need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with freebets.com, Empire Fight Slot and Ready to Fight. Delighted to be joined with Spencer Oliver. We're here at the Joshua Buatsi versus Dan Azeez media workouts. We've been starved of this. We didn't get it in October. We're getting it this week. Joshua Buatsi takes on Dan Azeez. Friends turned enemies. It all settles the score on Saturday the 3rd of February.
Listen, it's a fight that, you know, we've all wanted to see. You know, it's a proper trade fight, this one, and it should be bigger than it actually is, because I think that if you know boxing, you know that these guys are going to leave it all in the ring. Do you know what I mean? This is like much more than South London bragging rights, because that's a big thing on its own, because when you're from the same area and all that, that's a legacy fight, because they're the fights that you're remembered for, and both guys know that going in. But much more than that, with like WBA number 1 and number 2 on the line, WBO number 1, number 2, WBC 2 and 3. These guys have got a lot to go for. The winner of this obviously gets the opportunity for maybe the winner of Bivol Better BF. That's sort of like where they're looking at. So there's a few huge opportunities for the winner of this one, and the loser has to go back and maybe rebuild. Or even the winner against Anthony Yarde's another fight that could happen as well. So look, there's a lot on the line, man, which creates a lot of pressure on both sides, and that could be the difference between winning and losing in this fight. Who handles it the best? Do you know what I mean? Because if you go back like 18 months, you look at it and you go, Joshua Buatsi would have started an overwhelming favourite over Dan Azeez. Buatsi, you know, they're old sparring partners. Buatsi was the golden boy, you know, like 2016 Olympics bronze medalist and all that. Dan Azeez is sort of like done it the hard way. Do you know what I mean? In many ways, Buatsi was a mentor for Dan Azeez. Dan Azeez goes to all the promoters, like, give me an opportunity. All turned him down. Do you know what I mean? He fed off that, went back to the gym, worked harder. You know what I mean? Boxed on small hall shows, winning Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, European. You have to respect that, man, like, where he's done it the hard way and he's put himself in this position. And now you get to, like you say, Saturday fight night, and you look at it and you go, it's a 50-50 fight, this. For me, it comes down to who handles the pressure better and who turns up on the night. And that's the difference between winning and losing in this one. It's a great fight, man. This is like, yeah, this is what boxing's all about.
You mentioned bragging rights there, and I'm sure you've boxed your friends before and people who ideally you probably didn't want to box, but do you feel like that, and what we see Buatsi Azeez, that friendship rivalry, we know there's nothing more stronger than a friendship rivalry. So do you feel like this gets the best out of them because it is the bragging rights between the friends? We saw the workouts today, they all know each other, they're all having a go at each other. It's what we want to see, and that brings out the best of the both fighters.
Absolutely. Listen, this was to go back to my career when I was having my 9th or 10th, I was having my 10th fight, and I boxed a guy called Patrick Mullins having his 11th fight. We were both unbeaten. Southern area title was on the line, but it was a fight that moulded both of us. Like, after my next fight, I won the fight in the 10th round, but we was like, he was from Harrow, I was from Barnet, so it was like same thing, local rivalry. He used to always beat me up in sparring because he was senior ABA champion when I was junior ABA champion. So when he was like 20, I was like 15. So when we used to spar, he'd give me like 6 stitches here once, he burst my eardrum once. But then when we turned pro, like we didn't spar for a few years, turned pro, he was doing really well, I was doing well. But I was the one that was going into the ring as the favourite with the bookies and whatnot. But we both knew what it was. He's looking at me thinking, I remember the sparring, mate. I'm going to do that, like, do you know what I mean? But I was looking at him thinking, you hit me a 3, I'm going to hit you a 4, you hit me a 4, I'll hit you a 5. And that was sort of drove me on. And I think when I got him into those later rounds, I think that was the undoing for him, because mentally he weren't prepared to go where I was. And he sort of like weren't expecting it, and he undone there. We had a similar sort of thing with Buatsi and Azeez, as in Azeez is the underdog and Buatsi is the favourite because of his pedigree and his background. So when we get into those later rounds, if we do get there, and Azeez is still in his face, how does Buatsi handle that here, mentally, psychologically? That could be the difference between winning and losing. Is Buatsi prepared to go to where Azeez is? Because we're speaking to Dan earlier in the week, Dan said, listen, mate, I know I'm the underdog here. I know how them sparring sessions went, and I'm prepared to go fucking to a dark place to get a victory here. I'm prepared, I know where I'm, and he was like, is he? Because although he says he is, he knows and I know how the sparring went. So look, there's a load of different factors going on, like a load of different moving parts in the ways to victory in this contest. But it's a fascinating one, whatever way you look at it. But look, I know both guys. and I know that we've got a cracking fight here. Yeah, it's going to be a great fight.
Picking this back up, they've sparred a lot of times, and Dan's admitted, you know, when they sparring, Josh has got the better of him. How much of a factor do you feel like play? Does that play in a Josh's factor of him being overconfident, or is it playing an Azeez factor of being like, in his mind, he knows that this guy does get the better of him?
Listen, it's how they both deal with that. How they both, you know, take that. Because like you say, Buatsi then could go in there with the mindset, I've got you, mate. And then when it don't go his way, that's a hard thing to deal with. Whereas Azeez is going in there and he can go in with the mindset of going, shit, I know what this sparring session used to be. Or he can feed off it and go, I'm gonna right the wrongs of the sparring. Many different ways that could be done, mate, but that's all about power of the mind and how they channel that nervous energy, etc., etc. That's why I say, in many ways, Lewis, this fight, you look at it and you go, like, there's many ways this fight could go, and you can see both guys winning it, but it's who turns up on the night.
I suppose we'll move on. Just giving you a little plug, your talk boxing with Johnny Nelson. It's done big numbers this week because Johnny has put his neck on the line. He said some very, very interesting things that I did want to sort of mention again and get your thoughts on it. He talked about Tyson Fury's camp. He talks about it's not going very well, and we know that there was the rumours of Joshua Buatsi. I suppose hearing that when you heard Johnny say it, what are your thoughts on that? And is some of it, I suppose, true, would you say?
Well, listen, no one knows what's true and what's not true. Only Fury and his camp and the people around that, Joshua Buatsi, etc., know that, what it is. And, like, you know, when you get a fight of this magnitude, when you get the undisputed world heavyweight title, the last one we had was, like, when you go back to Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield, 1999. Do you know what I mean? You're talking, like, many, many years ago, 25 years ago. So when you get a fight of that magnitude, rumours start circulating, things start happening. Oh, this happened in camp, that happened in camp. Let's just witness it myself, or I hear it from a solid person, then I go, well, to me it's just a rumour. I'll go there. Johnny Nelson will have his own views on it. He's saying that he's heard these rumours, and he's saying that, you know, it's not just Joshua Buatsi, he's hearing other rumours circulating out of the Fury camp as well. Listen, it is what it is. Like I say, these are all just rumours, and you get that around boxing. That is what boxing's all about. That's what makes it exciting, because you look at it and go, wow, hold a minute, is there any truth in that? The reason I asked that is because on Tyson Fury's last performance against Ngannou, he was terrible. So you go, has the fight left him? And, you know, is it, like, you know, has Father Time caught up with him? And that's what it is. You've got that question mark hanging over that now. That's what makes it so intriguing, because before the Ngannou fight, you go Fury and Usyk. Fury's a huge favourite for me. He ragdolls him, he goes in there. Now he's starting to go, hold on a minute. Are we starting to see the wear and tear? Are we starting to see the cracks appear in Fury? We'll only find that out on the 17th of February when that first bell rings. But you're hearing good rumours coming out of the Usyk camp, and you're hearing bad rumours coming out of the Fury camp, and you take that as you will.
Absolutely. Spencer, I just want to say thank you for taking time to speak to me. I know you've got a trainers catch, so I do appreciate catching up with you, mate. And yeah, top man, mate. Appreciate it as always.
Always a pleasure, Lewis. Always a pleasure, mate. Well done.
Top man. Thank you, mate. Cheers.